Nowadays, just about anyone can be an AI startup. It doesn't necessarily take what it used to. So maybe you're building a side hustle, or maybe you have your own company that you just started, and you're thinking, how can I stand out now in this new world where everyone can create an AI startup? It seems like almost instantly. All right. So I'm extremely excited for today's show because we're going to be answering that question and a lot more on Everyday AI. So thank you for joining us. My name is Jordan Wilson, and I am the host of Everyday AI. And we're a daily live stream podcast and free daily newsletter helping everyday people learn and leverage generative AI. So, as a reminder, if you're joining us on the podcast, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to check out your show notes. As always, not only do we have a link to join our free daily newsletter, but we're going to have a lot more information on today's show. So make sure to check that out. And if you're joining us on the live stream, thank you. Like Tara from Nashville, who's joining us live. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to get your questions in for our guest today. And what do you want to know about how to stand out in a startup when everyone can just sprinkle some AI dust on it, right? So as a reminder, go to youreverydayai.com, sign up for that free daily newsletter that will get out after the show. And I tell people our website is like a free generative AI university now with like 210. You can go and watch more than 210 episodes, live streams. You can go read every single newsletter that we've ever put together. It's definitely worth checking out. But let's get this thing started and go over, as we do every single day, the AI news. So Microsoft and Mistral launched a partnership on Azure AI. So Microsoft has announced a new partnership with French AI startup Mistral, which includes Microsoft investing in the company and making its language models available on Microsoft's Azure AI platform. This marks another major AI partnership for Microsoft following its recent investments in OpenAI. So Microsoft has made this new partnership with the French startup Mistral, taking a minority stake in the company. And as part of the partnership, Mistral's language models will be available on Microsoft's Azure AI platform, making Mistral the second company to offer a commercial language model on Azure after OpenAI. According to a very recent TechCrunch report, Microsoft made a small investment of about $16 million US into Mistral, a little different than their, reported $10 billion investment in OpenAI. But some breaking news here. The European Commission just announced that it's analyzing the agreement between the US software giant and the French AI developer as part of its broader investigation into the booming sector. All right, our next piece of AI news. Some future AI plans from Apple have been unveiled. So Apple's future roadmap for wearables includes AI-powered smart glasses and AirPods with cameras, according to a new report from Bloomberg. So these concepts are in the exploratory phase and could serve as a cheaper alternative to the AR Vision Pro glasses currently in development that cost like 10 months' salary, something like that. Apple is planning to develop this AI-powered smart glasses as the alternative, like we said, but it's also exploring the idea of adding cameras to the AirPods, interesting, which would be used with AI to assist users with their routines. So the smart glasses and camera-equipped AirPods are still in the exploratory phase and may not end up as final products. Regardless, I want to see what that looks like. AirPods with cameras and AI. Okay. Last but not least, are 11 Labs and Perplexity coming for my job? All right, two tools that I love and use daily have recently announced a joint partnership to produce a daily podcast. Yeah, that's right. So luckily, it's not an entirely AI podcast, but 11 Labs and Perplexity announced this partnership to release a daily podcast called Discover Daily. And it's featuring, obviously, 11 Lab voices and covering, with the help from Perplexity, headlines in innovation, tech, science, and culture. All right, so much going on in the world of AI news. There's always more, so make sure you go to youreverydayai.com and sign up for that free daily newsletter. But enough of that, enough AI news, right? Maybe you joined today, maybe you're a startup and you want to hear from a successful startup founder, someone that's had multiple acquisitions. If that's you, you tuned into the right show. So please help me welcome to the show, bring him on here. There we go. All right. We have Tibo Louis-Lucas, the CTO of Taplio. Tibo, thank you so much for joining the Everyday AI show.
Hey, thank you very much for inviting me.
All right. And hey, if you follow startups closely, you probably know Tibo. But maybe, Tibo, if you could just give us a little bit of a background, maybe what you do at Taplio for maybe those that don't follow.
Well, it's been 10 years that I'm doing startup basically, but like 3 years ago, I've started building Tweethunter and Taplio, and I did it in a very, very different way this time. And about 18 months ago, we got acquired for a little bit more than 10 million by the team behind Lemlist. So it's been quite a journey, and super happy to be here to talk about it.
No, hey, I'm excited to have you on the show, and also, some of the software that Tibo just mentioned that he built, it's amazing, right? I'm a paid Taplio user. I've used Tweet Hunter, even Lemlist. I've used Lemlist before. So Tibo, as someone that's been in kind of this space for a decade, right? How much are things changing now with AI, right? Like how much different is it for maybe someone that has an idea? How much quicker is that process now compared to maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago?
Well, I think when I was building my first products, I quickly hired like a 10 people team. That's crazy, like 10 people to build the products. And I think that right now we just me alone on a weekend, I'm able to do what this 10 people team was doing like in, I don't know, like 3 months. It's just insane how fast you can go.
Maybe could you walk us through some of your earlier products? Whether you want to talk us through, Taplio or Tweet Hunter, your products that have been acquired, or maybe some of your first. But can you give us kind of what it looked like to build an AI startup? So you said, yeah, you might have hired 10 people, but what did it look like from a practical standpoint, day to day building it, and how much different is it now?
So the thing, what AI doesn't change at all is product validation and product market fits. And I think like it's just the number one priority, that it should be the number one priority for every entrepreneur out there. And when I started my first company, I think I did pretty much all the mistakes that you can do. And the most important ones are, I pretty much wanted to impress everyone around me. Like I wanted to have nice stories to tell at family dinners. So I wanted to hire a big team. I wanted to raise a lot of money. I wanted to say that I was a project manager, like I was startup founder. I was managing 10 more than 10 people on a daily basis. That was pretty much the number one KPI for me. And the thing is, you can do all that without having revenue, and it doesn't last long. And so our company never succeeded in making a living, and we eventually had to move on and do other stuff. And what we did differently with Tweethunter, and that was 3 years ago, is that instead of trying to force an ID, like instead of having setting this ID to a growing number of people, we did this crazy thing where we tried to ship one new product every week for like 4 months. And if this product was not making any revenue, we would just like, kill it and go to the next products. I think we shipped like 10 products like this. And Tweeting was like the 11th products and took off so rapidly from when we shipped that we just stopped the experiments and went all in on Tweet Hunter.
Wow. So wait, okay. So Tweet Hunter, you said was the 11th product after shipping one new product every week for 4 months. I mean, did you get to a point, Tibo, where you were like, maybe this experiment isn't going to work? Or did you feel deep down like, hey, maybe the 11th product will be the one that takes off and is a multi-million dollar company? Like what was that process like for you?
Actually, I didn't, because like every new product that we shipped was working a little bit better than the previous one. It was like two things were happening. First of all, we were getting better at understanding real problems to work on, and at the same time, with this process of building, we were at the same time growing an audience of people both on Twitter and on our newsletter. So every new product launch was a little bit easier. because we had people listening to us. So we're not like doing this randomly. Every single one of the 11 product that we shipped, it was kind of targeting the same people and trying to solve the same problem. And by doing that, and by gathering all the early users in a database, we eventually succeeded.
So, hey, if you are joining the live stream late, don't worry. A very special guest today. We have Tibo Louis-Lucas, the CTO of Taplio, who's built multiple companies that have been acquired for millions of dollars. So Tibo, like, I'm wondering, how has your process changed on the latter half, right? So it seems like now AI makes products much easier, to validate. You were shipping them out, one a week, which is crazy. But what about growing the product, right? So yes, AI can make things easier to help debug code and come up with new content ideation and marketing ideas. But what about once you start to get those users? How has AI changed the process of growing once you've validated something?
So my realization is that is the huge number of contents that is being produced every day. Like AI is basically multiplying the number of blog posts, of tweets, of pretty much everything. So it really comes down to trust, to who you trust, what's your number one source of information. And I'm pretty sure, like, for a lot of people, it's you, Jordan. You're a trustable source of information. But when we started out, we were pretty much unknown. So what we did is, we did this bold move of partnering up with a Twitter influencer. That was definitely not the plan, but the guy was so enthusiastic about it that we just went all in on that. Like, we gave this guy 25% of Tweethunter in exchange for having him actively promoting Tweethunter and setting up marketing campaigns and handling the growth of the products. The thing is, it works so well that when we started working on Taplio, like the LinkedIn alternative to Tweethunter, when we started working on it, we looked for to replicate this strategy, and we did it with Alex Berman, which is quite big on LinkedIn and cold emailing. And again, it worked very well and made us able to kickstart Taplio very fast.
What it seems like it worked out for both parties, right? So at first I think,
Yeah.
25%, of a company that was acquired for millions of dollars. So part of it's like, oh man, Tibo and team were leaving so much money on the table, but maybe it couldn't have been done or been as successful as fast, right? If you didn't have that early partner. I guess what clicked, in your mind to take this much different approach than others, because that's something you don't see every day. Those kind of partnerships for that amount of equity. So what was it in your mind that said, you know what, this is the right way to grow in this new day and age of everything AI?
Well, I think we are in the golden age of products and startups. Like, AI is making it so easy to build, then the building itself is pretty much worthless. So it really comes down to audience and to acquisition and how you grow. And so it was pretty obvious to us that with pretty much no acquisition channel in for us, it would definitely be worth it to partnering up with those guys. And what I realized very soon, when I was working on Tweet Hunter, is that those guys, Twitter creators or LinkedIn creators, they are not making that much money. Like, definitely not. And so they are listening when you are talking about sharing equity of your products with potential multi-million exits.
It's interesting too, Tibo, because someone might think, right? Most people have heard of some of your tools like Tweet Hunter and Taplio, and people might think, hey, after that kind of success, you might just hang it up. You might just take some time off, and enjoy a nice stroll, through the countryside. But you didn't stop, because you actually have another even new product in tight frames. So, what is it about maybe the software space right now that still excites you? Right? Is it the fact that now you can get and validate and create a great product so much faster? But I guess what's the urge to keep going and keep creating and keep innovating?
I think so. I think I'm falling in love with this target audience. Basically, like working for the creator economy is so fun. Like doing products for social media, it generates excitements all along the way. Like something like going viral is giving you this insane feeling that when it happens once, you just want to replicate that, because it's I'm really all for excitement, having fun at job, and this is what excites me the most. So what I did to grow Tweethunter and Taplio, we did this many times, and I had no idea we could do that, which is acquiring traffic-oriented small products. I think we did like 10 acquisition with Tweethunter and Taplio of very small products that was generating traffic, mostly thanks to SEO, and that was fueling our main products. It worked so well that I wanted to do that on my own with my own money, and I did this with Typeframe. Typeframe, it's a video editing and video making software that is basically syncing music with beats, like syncing text with the music beats. And it's been like a little bit more than 5 months that I'm working on that to make it the video making software for creators. I basically think that video is gonna take over the world, and I want to be part of that.
Mm. Well, hey, a little off topic. Speaking of video taking over the world, I mean, what do you feel now about these, Gen AI products such as Sora from OpenAI? But it seems like when you say the creator economy, all of these AI tools change, right? Like even type frames here that I'm showing here on the live stream. I used to spend 10, 15, 20 hours making a simple kinetic typography animation, which now you can do in seconds using type frames. But Tibo, how do you feel about the power of these new tools, specifically around video, and how is that going to change things for people wanting to create a startup?
You know what? When we started working on Tweethunter, I think it was powered by GPT-3 at the time from OpenAI, and we felt like we were so behind when we started working on it. Basically, you had like huge software and huge successes already out there, like copy.ai, and we were so wrong. Like we were definitely not so late. We were at the very beginning, and I feel like this is the case right now with video. It's you might feel like it's done already. Like you have some very big players shipping out their video generation models, and the game is set. I'm pretty sure we are at the very, very beginning of this AI, video AI gen wave, and it's gonna be crazy. And it's super exciting to see it like unveil in front of your eyes, and I want to just to experience that, and I want to play in this game basically.
Oh, it's a nonstop game, right? Like it's the
Yeah.
rules are always changing, the players are always changing. I think playing the game is a very good analogy for the current landscape. So great question here from Juan. Juan, thank you for your question. So asking Tibo, has your thoughts on AI evolved over time from the first time starting to use it for your companies to the way that you use AI today? What are your thoughts on that, Tibo?
Well, I think the main thing that changed is that I'm getting scared, like very scared. Like when you cannot not be scared. Like when you are using AI all day long, you see what it can do, and you see how it can hallucinate, and you see how it can deep fake. And so it's it's a very interesting mixed feeling to be both shipping AI products and at the same time to be scared by its power. I think like just yesterday I was listening at the NVIDIA founder and CEO, and this guy was basically saying that we should not teach programming to kids, and it resonated on my head because I'm having a newborn. It's coming on July, and it's gonna be my second kid. And like how to raise kids in this world is something that seems so scary to me. Like you have no idea how you should prepare them for this world, like because it has never been done before. So yeah, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and even bringing that up here, it's an interesting concept. So yeah, the CEO of Nvidia is saying like, hey, we don't necessarily need programming in the future. It's just your natural language, right? Like that is the programming of the future. Tibo, something you said there that caught my ear is that there is this kind of fear of AI, but also, do you think that it's normal, right? So maybe someone who's just launching their first startup, and they're scared, right? So I think it's important to hear what you said. Someone that's been in this industry for a decade, that's had multiple successful acquisitions. Is it still healthy? Right? Is it still healthy to feel, kind of that fear of AI? Is it healthy to feel burned out from shipping so many products? I mean, what is that balance like of having a productive company and leveraging AI versus having kind of that healthy fear of what's next?
Well, we have basically moved from a world where you had one very excited launch every few years, and it was easy to keep up with things, and to a world right now where in the same week you can have multiple crazy AI announcements that would basically contradict each other, and having being in the space and talking about that on my Twitter and LinkedIn every day, I can say that I feel this huge pressure to try to keep up with everything, and I'm pretty sure that at one point I will have to give up. And like I would bet that in 2024 a lot of creators that just started talking about AI and that are trying to keep up with AI news are gonna burn out because it's getting impossible to be the first to go in depth with those topics. And yeah, I think it's gonna happen.
Oh, it's so true. That one hit me personally, right? Because I'm spending so much time every single day, and I feel I'm ahead of the game. But then sometimes it's like, oh wow, completely missed this, right? But Thibaut, I want to shift the focus a little bit to people who are right now maybe building their first software company or they're building their first product. With everything that you've been through, not many people out there have shipped as many products as you have. What's your best piece of advice to young, startup entrepreneurs, to young developers right now, specifically as it pertains to leveraging AI to, validate an idea and launch a company?
So basically, if you want to go to the shiny things, like to all the very excited products and ideas that are out there, you need to have a lot of money or you need to have an existing audience. If you don't have those, I would try to go with sometimes very hidden but very abundant needs that are being just help with AI. So basically, you have tons of jobs to automate in companies. Like you have tons of job where basically the job is to copy information from a form and to put it in different system, like something like an ERP or something proprietary, something that just to make the company running and to make sure it has all the information. You should work on that. Basically, that's the the less excited, the less interesting opportunities that are there right now, and that people should work on. And to grow those products, I would start being active on LinkedIn and Twitter. It worked very well for me. And to start talking about very, very specific things. Like, don't go with the generalist approach. Just go with a very, very specific approach, and be the best at that.
So I'm wondering, Tibo, it has to be hard, I might imagine, to be in your shoes, someone that can build and ship successful products so fast. But I'm even curious whether it's for your own, personal use, or maybe for others. What do you think is going to be, one of those next big products, AI powered maybe, that's going to help us all solve this problem of maybe focusing our time and our energy in the right places? Or maybe it's like, hey, what would you want to build next? I'm curious.
I'm betting on Mistral for that. Like, Mistral have a very interesting approach, I think, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna build a lot of very custom model specific to very specific to some use cases. And yeah, I think they're gonna be big in this space.
All right. Hey, so much good information. We've covered a lot here, Tibo, from, how you initially shipped, multiple products just so quickly to how you're using AI now. So, as we wrap up today's show, I'm wondering, what is the one best piece of advice that you have to maybe a young entrepreneur on how to stand out now in the world where everyone can build and ship things so quickly with AI?
Well, I would go back to what I shared earlier, which is basically stop trying to impress people, stop trying to boost your ego, and stop trying to impress your mother at family dinner, and start go with the hard truth, start validating stuff, and run experiments. And by running a lot of experiments, by shipping a lot of stuff, you will see what sticks. And I think what sticks are going to surprise you.
Hey, the hard truth is this episode today is invaluable to you out there if you're trying to grow your company, grow your business, or start a new startup with AI. So, Tibo, thank you so much for joining the Everyday AI Show. We very much appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
And hey, as a reminder, so much good information out there. We're going to share a lot more about Tibo's story, some of his new products that he's working on, and old ones that we also use and love. So make sure, if you haven't already, go to youreverydayai.com and sign up for that free daily newsletter. Also, tomorrow, join us. I think this is going to be a great episode. The 7 steps on how to actually use ChatGPT in 2024. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you back tomorrow and every day for more Everyday AI. Thanks, y'all.